Let's talk about those storms. You can see the line that we were dealing with last night has moved off out of the area, but that doesn't mean that the system is over. At least the chance for severe weather still exists. We have a lot of damage reports this morning, Terry.
We do have a lot of damage reports this morning, Teresa, and actually we've got an even higher chance of severe weather coming our way later this evening, and even included in that risk may be a few isolated tornadoes. This morning, though, we're starting out looking at Storm Track Live without much more than just a couple of isolated showers out over Lake Michigan and heading toward the lakeshore. Here's a look at all of the storm reports over the last 24 hours in the Great Lakes region. You can see once again Wisconsin and Illinois walloped after the outbreak of tornadoes that rolled through Monday night. Last night it was a lot of strong winds, and that extended into the state of Michigan as well. In fact, some of those peak wind gusts up to 70 miles an hour in Alamo, Dorr, 68-mile-an-hour wind gusts, peak wind gusts of 62 in Grand Rapids, 60 in Wyoming, and wind gusts that were in excess of 45 to 50 miles an hour from Kalamazoo, Greenville, South Haven into Fremont and Ionia. So very widespread in terms of those damaging winds. This morning, waking up to tranquil conditions, and actually it'll be a day very similar to yesterday in that much of the day will feature a mixture of clouds and sunshine. Temps this morning in the upper 60s to low 70s, and those storms will really get ramped up again this evening and overnight tonight. A look at the risk area for severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. We're actually in a level 1 for most of the state of Michigan, and then a level 3 here, which is the enhanced risk for severe storms, and that does include central Allegan and Berry counties all the way up to Traverse City. So this is a huge chunk of our region that will have an enhanced threat of severe weather, which means it's a pretty good bet that we're going to see at least some wind damage across the area this evening and tonight, and possibly even an isolated tornado. Several dry hours as well, with a mixture of clouds and sunshine, a high near 90 today, and those heat index values approaching the century mark. Coming up, we'll look at the rest of that 8-day forecast plus team weather with Matt Kirkwood. But first, we're going to check in with Tom to see how the morning commute is unfolding.
Well, so far things looking okay out there. The main roads, those are in good shape. So freeways, not really area of concern for us this morning. It's some of those more rural areas, side streets that could be problematic with trees down, power lines down, things like that. And keep in mind, you might be the first one traveling along those roadways since these storms moved through over the night. And so make sure to use caution. Right now, I-94 looking pretty good, eastbound and westbound throughout the Kalamazoo County area, as well as I-196 and US 31 up and down the lakeshore. Again, freeway's not going to be our problem this morning. I'll have another update for you coming up in about 15 minutes. Teresa?
All right, Tom, thank you. We are also tracking the power outages throughout the state and West Michigan. Dana White is in the newsroom with how those are shaping up. I know they have a lot of crews out there working on them, Dana.
That's right, Teresa. Right now, there are about 190,000 people without power in Michigan, largely spread out over the west side of our state. Here's a look at that Consumers Energy outage map. As you can see, there are a lot of outages throughout the Grand Rapids region, all the way to the lakeshore. We spoke with Consumers Energy officials this morning who tell us they have crews out right now looking at the damage and working to get power back on. But for now, you should prepare yourself for any more possible outages tonight. Charge your phone and make sure you have food and water at home. Officials tell us it could take up to 3 days for some people to get their power back on. We'll be sure to keep you updated both on air and online at woodtv.com. Live in the newsroom this morning, Dana White, News 8.